Madam Vice Chancellor, Paloma Mohammed Martins, Law Lecturer, Mr. Christopher Ram, distinguished guests and students, good day to you all. When Mr. Ram first contacted me about this project, I immediately indicated to him that it was a noble and worthwhile initiative. As most of you would know, Mr. Ram is a man of many parts. He's a prominent accountant with decades of experience, a learned lawyer, a law lecturer, a prolific writer, and a civil society advocate. His students are lucky to have him. The history of colonial enterprise in Guyana is largely the history of sugar. Indeed, the history of Guyana itself is largely the history of sugar. It started with the Dutch, succeeded by the British. It was the impetus behind slavery in Guyana and later indentureship. The British company Booker, later Booker McConnell, bestrode the colony and later the country like an economic colossus. It also wielded significant political influence. Guyana attained independence on May 26, 1966. The nationalization of sugar in Guyana took place 10 years later in 1976. 5 years earlier, bauxite had been nationalized and Denver became Guyana. My father played a significant role in both negotiations. He wrote a book on bauxite, Nationalization of Guyana's Bauxite, The Case of Alcan, published in 1981, and a book on sugar, From Plantocracy to Nationalization, a profile of sugar in Guyana, published by the University of Guyana in 1983. I cannot quantify the value of the assets acquired by the Guyanese state through these two nationalizations, but I assume that it was a pretty penny, a very substantial sum. It is relevant to note that both of the major political parties in Guyana were socialist in orientation, and they supported nationalization. Indeed, at that time, that was the sentiment in much of what is today referred to as the global south. So, Guyana was not an outlier. Attorney General Dr. Mohammed Shahabuddeen, as he then was a member of Guyana's negotiating team, focusing on legal aspects of the negotiations with brokers. The discussions were highly confidential. No note-taking was allowed. At the end of every day of discussions, when he came home, he wrote down exactly what happened during the day's discussion. Who said what? In that way, he compiled a complete record of the discussions from memory, verbatim. He even footnoted his notes. It was later typed up and bound into a sizable book meant to be an internal government document. In parts, it reads like a play. That was 50 years ago. The story can now be told. On the quotation page of Plantation to Nationalization, we find this extract from the words of Prime Minister Forbes Byrne, as he then was, on the nationalization of sugar. Quote, the most significant and definitive act of independence so far performed by and on behalf of the people of Guyana. Unquote. That historic and very important record is the subject matter of the project that you have now successfully completed. It is fitting that 50 years after it was first written, it has now been revived, published, and revealed. I congratulate Mr. Christopher Brown, and I commend all the law students who worked so hard to bring this significant project to fruition. For those who may be interested in learning more about Dr. Shahabuddeen, I refer you to my book, Judge Mohammed Shahabuddeen, Pictorial Biography, published in May 2022. It is available on Amazon. Finally, as we are on the eve of Guyana's 60th anniversary of independence, the Diamond Jubilee, allow me to send my greeting a day early. Happy birthday, Guyana. Thank you, and best wishes.